The lynx is coming back to Britain. There's already been so much work done to return this iconic species. So I've recently been speaking with the Missing Lynx project to provide you with the most up-to-date map, going over everything which has happened, which is happening now, and that still has to happen, to provide you with a time to tell you when the lynx will return to Britain. This is a story which I am deeply invested in. I really want to see the lynx come back, and I know that many of you feel the same. So I've got good news, because you can now play your part in getting this species back to Britain. The Missing Lynx project is currently crowdfunding to ensure they have enough money to successfully complete this project. And I'm just letting you know early on for those of you who are ready to help, but if not, please watch the rest of this video. The last time we covered this topic, it was hugely popular. I think the video got 430,000 views. Now, if just each of those viewers gave only £1, the Missing Lynx project would absolutely smash their goal. Let's use the power of Leave Curious here and make a real impact. Also, side note, you ever seen snails making love before? It's feeling kind of awkward right now. It's a process not to be rushed. Now, some of you watching might not know exactly what a lynx is, so here's the essentials which you need to understand about them. The Eurasian lynx is often referred to as the shadow of the forest. They are quiet and watchful. They're about the same size as a Labrador, but only with much longer legs and oversized paws. They have characteristically short tails and pointed ear tufts, and a dappled camouflage coat which allows them to stay hidden as they move silently through forests. And they rely on ambush hunting techniques rather than actively pursuing their prey. And while they are mainly solitary animals, the mother will stay with the kittens for about a year, preparing them for life. Now, there is a little bit more to talk about with regard to lynx behavior and character, but we'll get into that throughout the video. Another important thing to get right about the lynx is that they are not a threat to people. In fact, it's the opposite. This is one of Europe's most elusive predators, an animal which just avoids us at all costs. In places where lynx exist, people can spend a lifetime in these forests and never cross paths with them, never see them. So who actually is working to bring back the lynx? Well, the name of the project is called the Missing Lynx project, and this is ran by the Lifescape project, by the Northumberland Wildlife Trust and the National Wildlife Trust here in the UK. Successfully returning a creature like the lynx is no short process. I mean, they're already around 6 years into the project itself, and ultimately what the project is working towards is obtaining a release license from Natural England. Natural England are the government's advisors on the natural environment here in England. So the project can be broken down into kind of 3 core areas. They're working to understand the viability ecologically, socially, but also practically. So to begin to understand and answer these questions, the project has looked to Europe, where lynx have been reintroduced successfully since the 1970s. And from these reintroductions across Europe, we have gained so much knowledge, and 2 core groups have emerged. You've got Euralynx and you've got linking lynx. These are groups of experts where you find all of the research and, all of the practical understanding that has come from the last 50 years of lynx reintroductions. And I really do want to make the point that, this shows us that a lynx reintroduction is a normal thing to do. It's normal to share the landscape with a creature like the lynx. Birch polypore? What's this? This is a birch. Is this birch polypore? I don't know, but it's made the tree go kerplunk. Yeah, I don't think it's birch polypore. Any fungi in the comments, let us know. And of those 2 organisations which I just mentioned, it's actually Linking Lynx which are responsible for sourcing lynx for these kinds of reintroduction projects. So where would Britain's lynx come from? Well, there's 2 main approaches. You've got capturing wild lynx, but you've also got captive breeding. Now, when it comes to captive breeding, this would be the offspring of captive bred animals. The idea would be to keep these animals away from people, so they're not used to people. You might recall, I think it was last year, when around 4 lynx were released, or should we say dumped, into the Scottish Highlands. Now, these lynx were clearly domesticated animals because they didn't fear people. They were rescued, or I think 2 of them were rescued. I think the other 2 died. But for this reason, and for many, many others, this is why it's so important to do these kinds of reintroductions properly. So let's take a look at the ecological side of things, because all of that work is largely done now. So they researched the whole of Britain using a model that was built from all of that data and knowledge on lynx in Europe. So this is all information on lynx behaviour and how they interacted with the environment around them. So the model simulated the release of lynx across this habitat map of Britain, and it looked at how the populations survived and grew over time. And in all the places that were tested in England and Wales, the only places that were viable under all the different scenarios was a release in Northern England and Scotland. And if you do look at this map of Northern England, you can see that there is an awful lot of forest cover here, and then especially as you pan across to southern Scotland as well. Yes, this is predominantly all non-native conifer plantations, but it turns out that lynx, they're not fussy. Yes, they would rather be in a deciduous woodland like this, but the main thing is that this woodland provides them with cover, and it's also full of their primary food source, which is roe deer. And ultimately this area could support up to 50 to 70 lynx, but this population would be reached over several decades. This is a really beautiful little patch of willow here. And I am actually up here in Northern England. It's not quite Kielder Forest, it's more kind of like Lancashire way. Look at these polypody ferns here. It's also worth mentioning that a lynx population could also work in the Highlands of Scotland, but the Missing Lynx project, their work has been focused to England. And to give the lynx the best chance, it of course makes sense to reintroduce them up there as well. And with regard to the ecological side of things, some work which is still being carried out, although it is quite near completion, is understanding how the lynx will impact protected areas and species. You know, ultimately the lynx will have a positive impact to ecology. You know, just the basics. Britain is missing its large terrestrial predators, so if you begin to put them back, it will be replacing that crucial missing link. But yes, between species there is quite a lot of unknowns and ultimately questions, and I think we won't really have the full answers to them until we bring the lynx back and we study them. And I just want to say, if you're enjoying this video and you think work like this is important, then please do subscribe to Leave Curious. And if you wanted to support the channel, then you can by becoming a Leave Curious member over on Patreon. That community really is becoming the backbone of the channel, and I'm grateful to all of the members, and I hope to see you over there. Thank you. So once the project found that it could work ecologically here in Britain, it then moved on to the social consultations and studies. Now, part of this was a public consultation called the Missing Lynx exhibition. Now, this was a public show which went to 15 different areas throughout Northern England and Southern Scotland. I think ultimately over 10,000 people passed through it, and I think even some of the Leave Curious viewers have also seen this as well. And across the project region, 72% of people were in favour of the lynx coming back. But as well as engaging the public, they've also created key focus groups to work with the relevant stakeholders throughout the community. And this work is still ongoing, and it has been for the past few years. You know, this really is one of the biggest parts of the whole project. Farmers are worried about livestock predation, about sheep losses. So the Missing Lynx project has been working to communicate all of that data and knowledge from Europe about the likelihood of this happening and how it's mitigated and compensated. It's this discussion which has really been at the heart of the farming focus group. Some of you might remember Lauren, who we met last year. She is a sheep farmer up on Hadrian's Wall. She was one of the farmers who got to go to Europe and see and understand how farmers in Europe are coexisting with lynx. Now, the Missing Lynx project is currently writing these coexistent plans to think collectively about how we can live with the lynx again. These plans are incredibly important. But it's not just the farming community. There's been other focus groups set up, like with local businesses to understand the benefits which a lynx reintroduction could bring, with forestry to understand how forestry would work if a lynx came back, but also the local community as well. So these people feel heard, that their concerns feel heard. So the project is currently in the process of writing these coexistent plans, and that has to happen first before they can submit a license application, which they're hoping to later this year. But before they do that, all of these plans have to be approved by the various groups I just mentioned. And some other things which are also happening during this time are wider consultations. You know, they'll be meeting with members of parliament, and they'll also be consulting the wider public of the UK. There's actually a questionnaire which we can all fill out if you're from Britain. Okay, so when is this going to happen? Let's just go over a scenario. As I mentioned, the project is hoping to submit an application to Natural England by the end of this year. Now, once it's in, we don't know how long it will take Natural England to process this, but a reasonable guess is 6 to 12 months. We could be at the start of 2028 before we know if the application could be accepted or not. If it's not, there'll be reasons for this which they can address, and then they'll apply again. But if it is accepted, there's still quite a bit of work which would need to be done, like a full genetic assessment of the northern subspecies of lynx in captivity. This has to be done before they can begin breeding the lynx. Captive breeding is looking like the most likely way that Britain will source its lynx. And then there's, a sequence of other practical things, like getting the lynx across and sourcing holding pens and, getting them ready to finally be released. And what we've learned from Europe is that once a license is accepted, it usually takes a couple of years after that until, those cages are opened and the lynx are out. So let's say the license is accepted by 2028. You then have 2 years to sort out everything which I've just mentioned. This means we could see the lynx back by 2030. So that's just 4 years. And look, nothing is certain here, but what is for sure, what I've learned is that when it comes to restoring nature, you kind of need two things. You need a group of passionate and willing people to move it forward, and you also need money. And I think it's clear that the Missing Lynx project currently has that first bit. Loads of great, willing people who are pushing this forward, but they need help with the second bit. And that's what I'm going to ask of you now. They're currently crowdfunding to ensure that this project can cross the finish line successfully, that we can get the lynx back. If this is something which resonates with you and you want to play your part, please just donate what you can. Like I said at the start of the video, the last video got over 400,000 views. If half, I don't know what this video will do, but say if 200,000 of you just donated £1, it would smash their goal, and this would really help get this project over the line and the lynx back to Britain. And all donations will be matched by Earthrays, but please do keep in mind that there is just 1 week to donate. That's the 21st to the 29th of April. You'll find links to this. See what I did there? You'll find links to this down in the description and comments of this video. And hopefully one of the next videos we make on this subject will be the reintroduction itself. YouTube reckons that you want to watch this video here next. On screen here is the Leave Curious Patreon. Do check that out. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Leave Curious.